Okay, so we have, we're finishing, maybe this might be the last shit of Hatmana, we'll see. Hatmana, right? Insulating. So, we discussed what you're not allowed to do with Hatchila. The question is, what happens if you did Hatmana b'di'evet?
By mistake, somebody did it on fire.
Someone did it, you already did Hatmana, you already insulated. What will be the halacha? Could you eat the food? You can't eat the food. What's the halacha? So we're going to bring different shittas which explain that is the question. Explain if Hatmana and Shehiyah are on the same level or not. Shehiyah is, like we said, Shehiyah means just to put on top of a fire without covering it. It's just putting a pot of food on Erev Shabbos, and it's not so it has to be at least third or half cooked in order to be able to put it there. So the question is, by Hatmana, what's the halacha? Hatmana has to be, could it be, if it's a third or half cooked, is it fine to do Hatmana, to insulate it, to surround it, to do Hatmana or not? So we're going to see really the halacha is l'chatchila, that you're not allowed even l'chatchila, even if it's totally cooked. It's the food's totally cooked. It's mistamak for ralei. Even if it's the more hot you make it, the more dry it becomes, and you don't like that. It's not good. You rather that it shouldn't be so dry. It could be. Still, you're not allowed to do Hatmana. Hatmana, like we said, if Erev Shabbos, you're not allowed to do Hatmana on something which is meisav havel, something which adds heat. For example, on top of a blach to cover a pot of cholent or
with a towel.
With a towel. But on top of the block, it's totally surrounded, or I'm saying a crock pot, because said it's not a problem, but if you would totally cover it by the crock pot also, and on Shabbos itself, you're not allowed to do Hatmana in something which is not meisav havel, something which doesn't add heat.
How do you know if the food is cooked or not? You put it an hour ago, now it's 10 minutes before Shabbos, you think it's cooked.
Right, so by Hatmana, the halacha is even if it's totally cooked, it doesn't help.
Even if it's food.
Fully cooked. No. By Shehiyah, Erev Shabbos, then it helps. But, so then, you taste it, look at it, what I'm saying, you take a look.
We know Machal Ben Dosai is this, take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that's it.
You have to take the spoon to mix it up to see if it's cooked or not.
Yeah, Erev Shabbos.
Before Shabbos.
Yeah, before Shabbos. Fine. So, the question is b'di'evet. What's the din b'di'evet? If you already did any of these on Shabbos, you did Hatmana, something, even on something which doesn't add heat, not meisav havel. I say a chicken soup pot on Shabbos to cover it with clothing, with towels, and Erev Shabbos, and
a lot of people don't get meisav havel.
Yeah, actually, Rabbi Raz's father told me that he does. Also, like you said, on the blech, he puts a pot of shalom, and on top of it he puts towels. Why? Because he doesn't just put a shalom. He puts a chicken soup pot. He puts everything. He puts a few different things. And he doesn't want to have a few fires on, so he keeps one fire on, and he wants everything should be warm on this fire. So he puts a towel to cover it.
Like one unit.
But he said that Rav told him that as long as he leaves space on the bottom which is not covered, so then it's fine. Okay, so
then it's not Hatmana.
Then it's not Hatmana, because Hatmana is if it's totally covered.
So you're doing like the Sfarad, isn't it?
The Sfarad maybe could even do all the way.
Baruch Hashem.
Ben Ishchai did all the way.
Baruch Hashem.
Fine. So we see on front of us we have a page of Gemara. The Gemara, in like the early Shurim, we saw this Mishnah. This is the Mishnah Matayimnim. I don't really want to discuss the Mishnah itself. Just the fact the Mishnah discusses things which are meisav havel, things which are not meisav havel, different types of materials which add heat, which just insulate. They don't add heat. Really, I want to go to the Tosfos on the bottom of the page. The Tosfos says the Matayimnim. The only first and only Tosfos on this parak. Met Teinim Kulo, Ein Teinim Le Begefes. Pirush Harav Rabbeinu Yisrael B'Shem Rabbeinu Shmuel. Rav Rabbeinu Yisrael says the name of Rabbeinu Shmuel. The mighty What type of food are we talking about when we're saying you could do hatmana? The bashal v'lei bashal. Bashal v'lei bashal means it's something which just began to cook, but it didn't finish. But it didn't become. It didn't become cooked yet. But if it's a pat which is totally raw, or if it's cooked, so then it's mutter, which means by shehiyah we said out of Shabbos just to put a pot of food on top of the fire without a blech. It has to be it has to be cooked, half cooked, third cooked. It has to be cooked, and then it's mutter to put it out of Shabbos on the fire. Another heter is kidra chayisa is if it's if the meat is raw, or if you throw in a raw piece right before Shabbos. So then, since you take your mind off of it, so that you're not gonna put the flame up, because anyhow it's gonna take a while to get ready, because it's raw. So therefore you take your mind off of it. So that's another way how it's mutter erev Shabbos to do shehiyah without hatmana.
But you know that you're going to cook on Shabbos.
Not a problem to cook on Shabbos. You put it erev Shabbos. It's by itself.
The scary is that it's not 200% going to make the fire a little bit warmer.
Right.
To finish it.
If you did it, it was a raw piece, so then you take your mind off. You're not going to make the fire bigger. Or if it's cooked already, or half cooked, so then it's already okay. When is it a problem? The problem is a little bit cooked and it didn't become yet macham in the side. It didn't become half cooked or third cooked, whatever the shear is. So according to Rabbi Shmuel wants to say that just like that is the halacha by shehiyah, the same halacha will apply also by hatmana. He makes them equal. He says that hatmana you're allowed to put it if it's cooked, if it's half cooked, so it's already fine. If it's raw, you can do hatmana, no problem. He makes them equal. That's Rabbi Shmuel. It's Rashbam saying we'll see later. That's the ein nira l'Rabbeinu Tam, but Rabbeinu Tam doesn't agree with this. The Islam l'ukma mastisim estam k'deidish im b'shalim ben hashmashes. But ben hashmashes, the pashtus, we're talking about when it's totally cooked. So it has to be fully cooked. Oh, sorry, I'm saying even if it's fully cooked, ben hashmash, we're talking about doing hatmana, right before Shabbos. That's when you're doing hatmana.
That means it's already fully cooked.
It's usually fully cooked already, and nevertheless we're saying even after it's fully cooked, it's still aser. So Rabbi Tam says he doesn't agree with Rabbi Shmuel. He says even after it's fully cooked, you're still not allowed to do hatmana, even if food is fully cooked. So which means, in other words, he's saying that hatmana is more chomer, more stringent than shehiyah. By shehiyah, you're allowed to do something which is raw or half cooked. So Rabbi Tam says even if it's fully cooked, you're not allowed to do hatmana. He says hatmana is more stringent, more chomer than shehiyah. Another raya, the mistama airi masisin dumin the masisin the kira, the mighty basha kamachim on this side. That's for pashtos. You see, he wants to say that this is like a hemshich of the earlier Mishnah, but this is Perek Tainim talks about hatmana. The Perek before it is kira, Perek Akira. Perek Akira talks about putting it on the fire without covering it, shehiyah, and that's talking about machim on the side, and we said that macham and this sai is so pashtos over here. Our Mishnah is a continuation of also talking about macham and this sai, that it's also at least half cooked, and nevertheless we're saying hatmana is a problem. So v'nil Rabbeinu Tam. So Rabbeinu Tam says sheish l'chalik min hashal hatmana. So now the question is why? Why should we say that hatmana is more stringent, more chomer than shehiyah? That by shehiyah it's enough if it's half cooked, and by hatmana it's not going to help. Or even if it's fully cooked, it's not going to help anything. Why? What's the reason? So the Rabbeinu Tam is going to explain. The lahashis mutter k'shomachim and the be sure to do shehiyah, to put it on the fire without covering it. Be sure that's mutter once it's already half cooked, like machim and the Why? Because if you're gonna move the coals move it around in order to make the fire higher, right? It's not going to help. Just Sharei Megulahu, B'Shalot Be'Avira. The fire is going down, and if you're gonna do a little bit of to try to put it up a little bit, it's not gonna help, because the pot is opened, it's revealed, the heat is going out, the heat is escaping. So it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help to do chitin. So you're not gonna come to do it. You're not gonna come to make the fire bigger, because you're not gonna be able to make it so much bigger. It's not gonna help to heat it up, since it's uncovered. The shalot be'avidel is out of ear over there. So therefore, we say, even though we're worried that you might come to move the coals to make the fire bigger, but nevertheless, so there is such a chash, but we say it's enough if it's half cooked. If it's half cooked, we're not worried. We're not worried already, because anyhow it's going to be ready for tonight, because it's already half cooked. And it's not going to help even if you do. How much is it going to really help? It's not going to really help too much. So the chash is not so strong. This that we're worried that you might come to make the fire bigger, not so strong. What you do for the next day? So usually they do shehiyah, you put on fire, usually for nighttime. Hatmana is for the next day. That you cover it. You cover it to keep it warm, because you want to keep it warm and all the way until the next day. So Yeshulachush over there is a bigger chashash, it's a bigger worry. Maybe you're going to move the coals to make the fire bigger. Because since it's covered, the ear is escaping as quick, so it will help if you're going to move the coals. It's going to help to make the fire bigger. And therefore, and therefore they made a gzeira that by Hatmana and anything which adds heat, because since you might come to put it in remetz, which is coals mixed with ashes, and then you might come, it's big chash, you might come to make the fire bigger, and it's going to help since it's covered. Therefore, Chachamim were more worried by Hatmana, and they said even if it's fully cooked, you're not allowed to do Hatmana. Okay, so we have a machlekes. We have Rabbi Shmuel, Rashbam. She says that it's enough when it's machram on the soy. It's already enough. He says just like shehiyah, they're both the same thing. They're both equal. And Rabbi Tam comes and he says that hatmana is more stringent, more chamer than shehiyah. And even if it's fully cooked, hatmana you can't do hatmana. Why Hatmana? Why are we more worried about Hatmana? Since Hatmana it's wrapped around in clothing and fabric and something which makes it hevel, so we're worried that it's going to help. It's actually going to help if you're going to move the coals a little bit to make it the fire bigger, and therefore we're worried. We're much bigger worry, and therefore even if fully cooked, it's not okay. Fine. Let's turn the other side. Okay, on the top is the tur in Simulation Zayin. Pidesh Rashbam. Rashbam is what we just read, this thesis. Pidesh Rashbam, Komad Asi Atmana. This which we said that you're not allowed to do Atmana. Haino Dafka Kishalay Yigil Machram Edisai. If it didn't reach Machram Edisai, Avlim Yigil Machram Edisai, if it reached Machram Edisai, then Shari it's mutter. But Rabbi Tam Zal, Rabbi Tam said, Pidesh, Shayisi Yesh Lahakram Atmana B'Shiyah. You have to be more stringent by Atmana than from Shiyah. Visha Matman L'Tzerech Macher, because since you're being matman for the tomorrow, L'Tzarech Hiti Tfei Shalay Yiskader. Oh, he adds, he says, you need more chiti in order that it shouldn't cool down. He adds like a different reason over here. He says it also needs more. Therefore, when we're worried, even if it became totally cooked. So over here, he adds a little different knate. She says that when you're doing Hatmana, you're doing it usually for the next day. When you're doing it for the next day, we're worried that it might get cold overnight. So therefore, since you're worried about it, therefore there's a bigger chash, or a bigger worry that you might come to make the fire bigger. You might come to mechata to make sure that tomorrow it should be warm.
If it's macham on the side.
Even if it's macham on the side.
Why they call Rabbeinu Tam Zal? And all the rabbis, they don't say Zal.
That's in the Torah.
Nobody from the rabbi said in the Gemara says that. First time I see her, I've been a Tamsa.
No, it's a Rishon. The Rishon. You say a lot of times the Rishon. Sometimes you say it.
זה לא גמרא.
Mishnah.
זה לא משנה.
No, in the
Tur, it's the Tur.
Gemara it doesn't say
But you see that Tyson didn't say it, now.
Yeah, this isn't.
But not very often you see Zal. From whoever a rabbi is.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But Rishonim, sometimes you say like that.
ברס היה מחלוקת שהוא חי.
What's historical?
Fine, let's look at...
האריזה לצדיק, האריזה לחי. האריזה.
Arizal, comes automatic.
In the Beis Yosef, this now you see over here right after the next shtickle is from the Beis Yosef. The Beis Yosef says like this: Pidish Rashbam Kol Madasi Hatmana Dafke Shalei Gil Machnasei. Divrei Rashbam Hiskirum Hateisus Varash Varan Bereish Metein Perk Metein. Yeah, we just saw in Teisus. It's also mentioned in the Rosh and the Ran in the beginning of the Perek of Metein. And also, Amartche Perek Madlikin also mentions them. Kulam Hiskimu L'Divrei Rabbeinu Tam. All of them agreed to Rabbeinu Tam. Not the Rashbam, they agreed to Rabbeinu Tam. Which Rabbeinu Tam said that it's to be in Gansim talked, yeah? So we have the Rashbam, we have the Rosh, the Ran, the Martche, all agreed to Rabbeinu Tam. Feel the Spashka Machne say Aser, it's still Aser. Why the Stam Hatmana? Why are we saying it's Aser even Kamachne say? Because Stam Hatmana he would say the Chmacher. Since when you do Hatmana it's for the next day. But Sarech Chitu Shalai Yiskar. It needs Chite that it shouldn't. It needs Chite means to move the coals to make it bigger in order it shouldn't cool off. Ma'at Chite Mahani, and also a little bit of moving the coals will help. Hafsikachem. Kevin should tamon since it's tamon. Remember, over here you see it brings both the reasons, right? It puts them both together. So there's two reasons why we're worried for Hatmana more. Since it might cool down overnight, so therefore there's more need for it, and also it's going to help since it's covered. So there's two reasons. They also write this even if it's totally cooked, not only kamachan say, even if it's totally cooked aser. The stam k'deides ben hashmashas mevashalos hin kol tzarkim v'kamar dein teinim, because our Mishnah Pashas is talking about that it's totally cooked, and nevertheless it says you can't do hatmana. Mashal afilu smash kol tzarkim afilu mistamak v'rali aser. Mistamak v'rali is, see, when you say when something's cooked. When you say Nispashal Kol Tzarkei, the Gemara, sometimes it can mean Nistamak V'Yafalei, sometimes it can mean Nistamak V'Ralei. Right? So you always have to figure out what does he mean. Nistamak V'Yafalei means that when Nistamak means that it's becoming dried out, the longer it stays in the fire. Yafalei and Ralei means, are you happy about it or you're not happy about it? Is the person happy? Du bist zufrieden von dem, als wird mehr drucken oder nicht. Das ist Stamek wie Jafale ist ja zufrieden, Stamek für alle ist nicht zufrieden. Das was die Hitz macht, das sein mehr drucken. So here he says that it's mashman. It seems that even if it's in Stamek für alle, it's also aser. Mit time the Rabbeinu Tam. Why? Because what's the reason Rabbeinu Tam? The ma'at chitim mahanim hachsachem, because even a little bit of moving the coals, chite, is going to help it to keep the heat. So therefore we're worried even if it's Mustamak Rally. Rabbeinu Yerucham Mechela Gimel Kasa. Rabbeinu Yerucham writes that Shalei Pidish Rabbeinu Tam Ma Dinei Mespashal Kol Tzarkei. Akal Lashenu. That Rabbeinu Tam didn't mention Ma Dinei, what's going to be the din if it's Mespashal Kol Tzarkei, because he only talked about it as Kamacham Adosai. Time Mishum the Nakat Rabbeinu Tam Kamachne Say, because Rabbeinu Tam only mentioned Kamachne Say. After the Nakta B'Dafka, so Rabbeinu Yerucham was saying that maybe only if it's Kamachne Say, but in the special circuit it's okay. Nida says the Beis Yosef Vadi the Lavdafka Nakte. Of course, he didn't mean only if it's half cooked, then it's a problem. But even if it's fully cooked, it's a problem. Why did Rabbeinu Tam say the Lashon Machem is even Machem say is Aser? Shatav is Lashon Hashbam because he took the Lashon Hashbam. Hashbam said that even Kamachne say is Mutter, so he said that even Kamachne say is Aser. Even Rabbi Yerucham said that there are those who say that Stam Kvarali is also. So even if he wasn't clear about what Rabbi Natan said, he also brings Gdelim. Big people would say that even Stam Kvarali is also.
Who is Ashbam? Rabbeinu?
Shmuel. This is
Shmuel that played
in
the
places. In places.
okay.
Ashbam was Aiden by Rashi, no?
Maybe
Huh?
something to Rash. Maybe Rash. I don't know.
No, Rabbi Natan was...
Tam was Einikel.
yeah.
Could be that Ashbam was...
I'm just guessing. Maybe also on it.
I thought it was Aiden maybe. Okay, could be. Wait, Ashbam took over Rash, who wrote... Right.
Or the refund was the refund.
They were mashlim the Shashlim
certain places.
Yeah. Fine. So this is now we have another opinion, a third opinion. We have a third opinion. So far we have two opinions, right? Either Shia and Chazara, Shia and Hatmana are equal. Amakon Sai helps. That is Rashbam's. And then we have Rabbi Natan. Rabbi Natan says that Hatmana is more common than even Spashikol Tzarki and Sama Kornella is also a problem. Now we're going to bring a third shikha. So now on the bottom is a shikha Beisesa from the end of Reish Nun Gimel. It's not on the Torah, not anything, it's just a shikha which is over there. Zeh Lashon Shibal Elek. Shibal Elek is also a Rishon. Be a Talmud. Rashi Kasav Anan. Rashi says that Anan the Meshahina Gdeira Gabekira, Shein Grufo Ktuma, Ad Chananya Samchina. This has to do with Shahir really. Chananya is the opinion who says that if you have an uncovered pot on top of the fire, once it's Kamachram Adusai, so then you're allowed to put it on the fire. So Rashi said that we do this today, that we put it, that we rely on Chananya. The Amrin and Kolsha, Chananya said, the Amrin and Kolsha Kamachram is the same, Mutalashes. Continues the day, the Muzukasa Harav Rabbi Yeshaya. Yeshaya says the read, Chol Midi the Shari La Sheise Gabe Kiddush in a Grufo Ktuma. Anything which is mutter to put it on top of Kiddush, which is not God for Kata. Shari Letamne Bedavid HaMesiv Hela Meidin. It's mutter to toimen it, to put it, to do Hatmana and something makes it Hela Meidin, right? So far, he seems to be saying the same thing like Rashbam. And he says that whatever you're allowed to do by Shehiyah, by on top of a Kiddush, by Kamach and Nesoi, so you're allowed to do Hatmana also. But look at these words. V'chol shekein hu. He says a kol shekein. When you say it's a kol shekein, that's for sure. So it shows that the way he's learning is that Hatmana is more kal, is more lenient than Shehiyah.
Yeah.
He's saying that because we say Shehiyah, you're allowed to do it even Machan say for sure you're allowed to do Hatmana. So he says, "V'leineser lahatmin aladover she'asur lahashis," and the isser to do Hatmana is only on something which is usher to put on the fire, uncovered. Even though something which he's explaining Mechlal, what's the problem with Hatmana? He says even though something which adds hevel. We said Hatmana is in anything which adds heat. Even though it's not something which is shaykh, not coal, even if it's not coals. Right? If you have the different materials which add heat, there's also a problem. But we're worried that maybe you might come to put it in coals. You might come to be surrounded in coals, and over there you might make the coals higher. But he says, when are we worried for Hatmana? There's only something which is for nighttime. Something which is supposed to be at nighttime, which you want to eat at nighttime, so then we make a gzeira of Shemi Echat. But Hatmana, what you're doing for the next day, we don't make a gzeira. Like we say in the first parak of Shabbos. So
it's a different Hatmana Friday night or Shabbos morning?
Yeah, so his difference is he's saying if it's for Friday night,
You're not allowed to?
You're not allowed to. If it's for the next day, then you're allowed to.
Not worried that you...
And he doesn't explain over here, but I'm saying the reason is because you're Masiyah Das, you take off your mind from it. You say, if it's for tomorrow, I don't have to think about it. So now we have, the rest is really have to do with Shehiyah. So we don't really get into it. So
What's lenient? What's making?
So we have three opinions now. Okay, so we have Hashbam is the most is not the most makel, but let's start from, we could start from here. Let's start from here. Right, we starting from the bottom. The most makel, Hatmana says the most makel, more makel than, more koladik than Hatmana. That's why he says a kol shekain, because it's for the next day. Once the next day, you take your mind off of it. Then you have the Rashbam. Rashbam who says that they're equal, and the reason is because he says, why should there be a difference? It's the same. And then you have therefore Hatmana is also fine. And you have Rabbi Notam, which says that even if it's fully cooked, it's a problem. Hatmana is more stringent than Shehiyah. The reason is because since by Shehiyah it's uncovered so it's not going to help doing chitik, and it's usually for nighttime. Hatmana is for the next day. Therefore, it's probably going to cool down by then. Therefore, they were worried. Therefore, there's a need to make the fire bigger, and a little bit's going to help. Okay, then I want to bring now to that bed. I didn't make copies. Yeah.
I don't need to leave it black because mine goes by itself because of the ones.
What's Rabbi Tam? What is this? Each time you're behind.
I can category. But the going is, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to I don't need my what is it? Right?
First thing, Reish Nun Zayin, the Siman Reish Nun Zayin. Siman Reish Nun Zayin, it's the first, the beginning.
Page go from the Malek.
Go from the Malek, okay.
Go from the Malek?
Okay, beautiful.
Okay. Dini Hatmana, this is the beginning. Somebody who comes to take off his pot from on top of the stove and to be matmin, to cover it. Why is he doing it? To stand in order that it shouldn't cool down. Also, you're not allowed to cover it in something which adds heat. Even while it's out of Shabbos. What's the reason? That's we're worried you might come to cover it in remetz. What's remetz? Is coals which are mixed with, ash mixed with coals. And afterwards on Shabbos, you're going to forget and you're going to move around the coals to make the fire bigger. Fine. So that's the pashta halacha, the pashta din. Very hitmin. If let's say you were over. You transgressed, you were over, and you were matmin. I feel of a shegik even if you did it by mistake. Hatav shel aser bein loi bein lachenim, for himself and for anyone else until Ad Motzei Shabbos.
What do you mean? Other tafshirim acherim allowed to and he is not? Why?
No, acherim not allowed to. Other people. Acherim means.
Yeah. Okay. But other situation, he can have it and.
Yeah, there's certain situations like this, like that.
You can have?
Yeah, there's all different dinim about different things. Everything has its own parsha.
Okay.
But when is it aser? B'diavad imu mistamak yafalei, if it's dry and he's happy about it, which means he gained from it. Only when he gained from it, then it's aser. If there was hana from it, if mistamak yafalei, that means he gained from it. Or it was cold and became warmed up, so that you had enough from it. So then it's aser, even b'diavad. But if it stays in the same chamimus, same heat like in the beginning. And it's something which you don't like that it's becoming more dried up. Then it's mutter. Why? It's also even as mustamak korali. So this is what we said. We pass in lachatchila like who? Like Rabbi Tam.
So you're not afraid that he will come and make the fire higher because it's garlic. You're not warm up the first hour.
No, lachatchila you're not allowed to do it in mustamak korali.
In the end, you said lachatchila.
But with the Eved, the reason why if it's mustamak korali, you're allowed to eat it because you didn't have any anah from it. There's no anah. Because anyhow, now let me ask you a question. Just by the way, let's say we're talking about something which is mesiv hevel. If you did Hatmana and something which adds heat, what if you did Hatmana and something which doesn't add heat? Ain't it mesiv hevel? Something which doesn't add heat. If you did Hatmana, what's going to be the din b'di'evet?
What's going on?
The chatchila you're not allowed to do it. But let's say b'di'evet you did Hatmana and something which is not mesiv hevel.
Then you could use it.
Why could you use it? Because you didn't have any anah. Just, I'm saying, you didn't have any anah over here, right? It just kept it hot. It didn't add.
There's no increase over your hanot.
Yeah. So this first
Only
opinion.
I know you had that it wasn't in standard.
Right.
Because it's not even standard.
Yeah. This is not the end of this. This is not the final thing. This is the opinion of who? Whose opinion is this shtickle? Who's this go according to? This is all according to Rabbi Tam, right? Rabbi Tam says that Hatmana is usher even if it's fully cooked. Lachatchila and even b'di'evet. Only b'di'evet. If you didn't have anah, it's not a problem. Then you're allowed to eat it because you didn't have any anah. But if you had anah, then it's a problem. So this is fully Rabbi Tam. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to understand. If you didn't have, in other words, the reason why Hatmana is excited because of remnants, right?
Yeah.
So if you didn't, if it's a stomach, the ralai, so then the diava, it's mutter.
Yeah.
Why? Because he wants. Why?
He didn't get anah. He's not happy with the fact that it's becoming more dry.
No, but how does that relate to the Xavier? In other words, the Xavier is...
No, because it doesn't relate with the Xavier. It has to do with the fact that we could only give you a knas only if you're getting anah from it.
Oh.
If you're not getting anah, so there's no knas.
Is your question grumma l'grumma? Your question is grumma l'grumma?
No. I don't know. I was thinking, alright, never
You
mind.
mean Xavier?
Exactly.
Kula chad Xavier.
Xavier, yeah.
The Gemara says, ask the question on Kula chad Xavier. Yeah. Now we're going to discuss over here why is it that Hatmana is more chamer, is more stringent than Shehiyah? What's the reason why? So we saw already reasons. The Alter is going to touch it out. Which you're allowed to put on top of a fire if it's uncovered. Anything which, even if the fire is in full force, there's no ashes on the fire or there's no grufa. It's not the coals weren't swept out. If the fire is there the way it is. As long as you're allowed to put on top of that fire, as long as it was cooked. A mat of Shabbos, half the amount of cooked. So why is it not similar to Shia? Why is Hatmana more stringent? If you stab Hatmana, let's say since usually Hatmana is for the next day. Why you covering it is in order that it shouldn't cool down until tomorrow. Therefore, it needs more. It needs more to come on to. In order that the food shouldn't become cooled off. On the other hand, Shehiyah, he would say the chalayla is for nighttime, because you're leaving it open, you're leaving it uncovered. So the lakach and it's since it's for nighttime, therefore it doesn't need so much chita. If it was cooked like machad the same from Erev Shabbos, then it doesn't need so much chita. Because it'll be ready anyhow at night for nighttime. Once it's already half cooked, it'll be anyhow ready for night. Even if you keep it uncovered until the next day, which means even if you do shehiyah, even though we just said shehiyah is usually for nighttime. So let's say you decided to do shehiyah for the next day, which means to leave a pan on the fire uncovered until the next day. Why? Why should you? Why we were for chita? It's not going to even help. You're going to say, oh, if you're leaving it for the next day,
It's not help.
because
You make it warm.
so lishmechema alamach is not going to help to keep it heat until the next day. Since it's open, so it's uncovered.
That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to make it hot and the heat going to go down.
Basically, the fire's already going out a little bit. Just
Right.
doing a little bit heat is not going to keep it hot because it's anyhow.
Because it's not covered.
Right.
So you're eating something that's not
Right.
covered.
So he's saying two things. He's saying there's two reasons why we're not worried once it's machem on the side. One reason is because usually do it for nighttime, and anyhow it's going to be ready for nighttime once it's already machem on the side. And another reason is because even if you can do it for the next day,
Not gonna help.
and it might cool off, it's not going to help.
The heat is here.
But if it's covered, it's going to help. So right, and we said before that you usually do it for the next day,
Yeah.
so it might come cold, and it's going to help if you're going to make. Therefore, the bigger chash. If we're worried maybe if it's an emetz, we're gazing on everything which is meisiv hevel because of the emetz, because you might put it in an emetz. Okay. Now, what about also Hatmana? Let's say you decide to do Hatmana for night, and you cover it, but you need it for nighttime. It's still asur. Why? They didn't make any chiluk, even though right, even though this doesn't apply, but wait, this didn't lay plug. We don't make a difference. Times asur. Because of this, because of that, there's a bigger chash by Hatmana than by shehiyah. Therefore, it's also even meat which is totally raw, close to nighttime. You're not allowed to do it. Even though when it comes to shehiyah, to leave it on a pot in the fire, with raw meat, right before Shabbos, is mutter, because once you put a raw piece of meat over there, you take your mind off of it until the next day. So by shehiyah we say you're allowed to do it because we're not worried you're going to make the fire bigger. The whole night is able to be cooked without chite, without chite. And if the fire is going to become cool and it's going to cool off, it's not going to help when you try to move the coals. Since it's open on top. You can't use a raw stick of flesh. Since it's gonna, if it cools off, it's gonna help if you're gonna move the coals. This is all Rabbeinu Tam. We saw this already earlier, and Alter Rebbe explains it and talks it out.
So the Chachamim was worrying only that they will add up fire after. That's what they worried the whole time. Hatmana or shehiyah doesn't make difference. If it's there, they're afraid that you will play with this or add up fire. That's the worry.
Yeah. So this is what I've been at. Now let's go to the second shita. The yesh chilkim hazeh. Okay. So yesh chilkim hazeh ve'imlim. Sh'af lahatim davar ha'metzim meidyeim mutter. Even kosher is basher machnesei. If it's cooked to macher ben nesei, you're allowed to do hatmana. You're allowed to cover something which is cooked to macher ben nesei, even in something which makes it hevel. Out of Shabbos. Eishu chay lagamni, or if it's totally raw. Samach hashech mamash, if it's mamash right before Shabbos. Meishim mutter lahashigah bekidish in guruf oktuma, which is Barbara's mentioning it, just like it's mutter to do shehiyah, to put on the fire an uncovered pot, which is half cooked. So too, you're also allowed to do it by Hatmana. Whose shita is this? Who said that you're allowed to do?
The last one.
No. He says that you're allowed to do kamach, that just like shehiyah is kamach on the side, so to Hatmana is kamach on the side. They're equal.
Oh, equals one. The first one.
Who's the first one?
We stop.
Who's the first one? Right. Who's the first one? Hashbam. So Shita is Hashbam. So we had Rabbi Natam, and now Shita is Hashbam. So he says that they're both equal. So what's that the Rebbe say? He says, it says places which people do it, they do Hatmana.
Like the Rashbam.
Like the Rashbam, if it's cooked, if half cooked, or if it's raw, right before Shabbos. You don't have to protest.
In case of emergency, you could make it on Rashbam.
You don't have to. You shouldn't make that custom anywhere else. No, it says you shouldn't. No, over here it says you shouldn't. Seemingly
Wherever
over here, wherever people do it, the minhag is you don't have to come and protest. You don't have to tell them off. Let them continue doing what they're doing. But other places don't make lachatchila such a minhag. You can't account. Our aim minhag came a shayma came.
So by us, let's say somebody forgot to make a chomp, and they have allowed before Shabbos, remember, he's allowed to put a potato and meat, everything and put it.
Hold on, we didn't finish that. Hold on. The Rabbi, we didn't say anything about how if you're allowed to do it. We just said he shouldn't protest what other people do, and l'chatchila nobody else should do it. So this was shit up.
If you don't protest, you do it all the time. This person would do it all the time.
We don't always have a chiyuv to make a macha. Like, some people think that you always have to make a macha about everything, right? There's din in macha. You don't always have to protest. If it's something mutter, sometimes better. They shouldn't know. This way they should do it as a shegig. Mutter shia shegim al mizidim. Right?
He doesn't say that.
If there's a difference between something which is minatayras and the rabbanon, we're not always mechuyev. Always, if someone wants to learn, if someone's gonna, it's different. But you don't only have to go over and tell them, tell them off. Let them do it.
He said it's not shenagul hakul al pi svaruzu. He doesn't say that mutter shia shegim. He doesn't say that much.
No, but I'm saying because they have what to rely on. Because they have what to be saying. I'm saying it's not. I'm saying there's examples of not always a chiyuv macha. You don't always have to say something. Yish mekilim oids. Some people are more mekel oids. Mekilim are more lenient than Hashbam. Who's more lenient than Hashbam?
The last one.
The last one. Rabbi Yishaya Shibal Alakes. Sh'af minichai samoch v'chashecha. Even if it's not raw, before close to nighttime, which means it's any time you put in the meat. It could be just starting to cook. By shehiyah, it's a problem. By shehiyah, you're not allowed to put such a meat on such food over there for nighttime. You're not allowed to do it. If you take your mind off of it until the next day,
You don't eat for the night.
you want it for the next day. So it's like totally chai, like totally raw. Just like raw, when it comes to shehiyah, we say that you take your mind off because it's going to be ready on the next day. Over here by Hatmana, if Hatmana, since it's usually for tomorrow, if you have a mind that you want it for tomorrow, you also take your mind off of it. Therefore, it's more kal than shehiyah. You're allowed to do Hatmana for the next day. Even if it didn't reach machan this side, didn't reach half cooked yet. It shouldn't be samech on this, only b'diavad.
That's another lashon.
As long as you're not miragel, lasses came. Don't be kamfur. Which means if I'm saying pashtos, I'm saying if it's a real shasat chak or something. So then, but not. You can't always have a shasat chak. You do it once or twice, but not always a shasat chak. So
There is mutter, but don't rely on it and start doing it every week.
right. I'm saying mutter only in b'diavad.
Yeah.
Not l'chatchila.
Right.
Certain shasat chak, certain times. So then, even that shalei ragel lasses came. So basically, what we have is we have three shittas: Rabbi Natam, Hashbam, and Shbalek, Rabbi Yishaya. And so we say l'chatchila, you're not allowed to do Hatmana in something, even in something which is Mesiv Havel on Erev Shabbos, something which is not Mesiv Havel on Shabbos, even if it's a bushel called Sarkim, a stomach Varable, it's totally cooked and you're not happy the fact that it's coming cooked and you're not getting enough from it, you're not allowed to Chatchila do it. But on the other hand, we go all the way to the other extreme. and we rely on Rabbeinu Yeshaya,
And the Shvul
Leket, which that I'm saying is that in a case when it's b'di'evet, you know. So if you're ever by a house or something, your guests are eating somewhere, and they have they did Hatmana, let's say, they on the fire or something else. So you can eat the food, it's fine. Or on Shabbos, I'm saying, of course, that's even according to the Min HaTam. If you did even in something which is not Meis of Havel on Shabbos, so it's also fine.
But today, there's no remnants. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different song.
Even then, we said it's also even something,
Right.
even if it's something which makes it Havel, even if it's not Emetz. Because Xavier you may come to put in
No,
Emetz.
what I'm saying here, what he's being makel, it's not talking like we have today, the stove.
No.
Not here. What he's saying with the diabet, it's not how it was then with the coals and all that business. But he's still saying.
So even if it was in the cold, or something.
Right, he's still saying.
Well, today we go. Yeah, you can have also on the fire or in the crack pot, you know, something. You could also have it like that. I asked Rabbi Heller, and he told me that it's mutter. He says, if you want, there's a hidder, the hidder not.
If you ask me, the halacha, I'm telling you it's mutter, but
Yeah.
mehad I don't do.
If you want, we have it.